Welcome to Friday Night Ghost Frights, a series of real, true experiences with the paranormal and the supernatural. Ghost tales that will frighten you in the depths of the nights. Have you ever had a dream come true? How about a dream of a haunted location? Some may not believe the things I'm about to describe, but I assure you that everything I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. It is up to you, dear viewer, as to whether you believe me or not. The night I was first commissioned to write my book, Ghosts of Maryland, I lay down, went to sleep, had an unusual dream. Within this dream, I was walking up to a historic house, one in which I was doing research for my book. Now, granted, I had not yet researched any homes at that point in time. The book was just in concept. But in my dream, I walked into this historic home, and in front of me was a great foyer, a great hall. And within this great hall of this historic home were these chairs lined against the wall. Well, I decided in my dream that I would sit down in one of these chairs and just take in the ambiance of the historic home. I sat in that chair and I couldn't get out. Something was pressing me down into the chair. I struggled and finally I was able to break free and exit the home immediately. It was just a dream, right? Well, the first location that I visited while researching Ghosts of Maryland was Montpelier Mansion in Laurel. I took an extended lunch break one day from Howard County Library, where I worked for the IT department, and took a self-guided tour of the mansion. It was pretty convenient. They handed you a little pamphlet, and I was free to roam the house. As luck would have it, I was by myself. I was the only one there at that time, and had the whole house to myself. Well, it was a great historic home. I loved the architecture, loved the decor inside, but as I entered into the middle of the Georgian-style home, I was greeted with a familiar sight of the great hall lined with chairs, straight out of my dream. Of course, it was shocking to me at the time, and I decided not to sit down in the chair from my dream. I mean, it would have been fantastic to have that kind of paranormal experience at that time, but I did need to hustle on back to work and couldn't be stuck in a chair for an extended period of time. Now, while going through and snapping my photographs, the only little bit of paranormal activity that I picked up at that time was as I crossed into the wing that is kind of now the library, and there's a parlor that's right there. I did hear some strange, creepy breaths that were very close by, and again, I was by myself. The most telling incident that happened at Montpelier Mansion was not my own evidence that I collected, but it was at an event that I had at the mansion one night a few years ago. I was invited to do a book talk, a book reading event called Tales from the Dearly Departed. And this was a candlelight event where I would tell ghost stories from my book, Ghosts of Maryland. Montpelier Mansion is one of the Snowden homes. There's 3 of them in the area, and they wanted to hear a lot of the tales of those different homes. Well, after the book reading and a book signing, we had a candlelight tour of the home put on by the docents. Well, again, we were in that great hall, and there's a number of tales about Montpelier Mansion. Now, there's a lot of great history behind it, where George Washington had stayed upstairs one night, Martha Washington another time, Abigail Adams. So there are supposed sightings of dead presidents on the property, such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Whether or not they are true, we don't know. There's tales of the spirit of a little girl that roams around in the upstairs hall and looks out one of the windows of the master bedroom. And there's also the tale of an unidentified woman with a quilt that walks up the main stairwell. Well, during that event, my friend Kat Gash was there, and she was snapping a number of photographs. Well, Kat wanted to take my photo near the great staircase, and sure enough, within that photo, she caught the shadow of that woman. Here's the photograph. Well, we went through the rest of the evening without anything paranormal really happening. After all, there are a lot of people that were with us. But it was a great tour through a historic home in the candlelight, a mansion that survived for hundreds of years and is played host to a couple of our presidents. But you never know when the ghost of Thomas Snowden may come galloping up on his horse on a foggy night. Some historic legends are true, and some historic locations find their way into your haunted dreams. Thank you for watching Friday Night Ghost Frights. Please let us know what you think of our show in the comments below. And if you have not yet, please subscribe. I'm Mike Ricksecker. Until next Friday night.